Welcome into Black and Gold Insider. This is the show where we get to know the members of the Black and Gold a little bit better. I am Max Bretos, and today we are joined by freshly minted LAFC midfielder Frankie Amaya. And Frankie, we welcome back home. How are you settling in with the club?
I feel good. Everything's pretty good so far. I'm happy to be home, happy to be in a good club like LAFC, and I'm just ready for what's next.
Well, we're always excited to have guys come. We're excited for every new player for LAFC, but excited about those who have a local connection. So, if you could tell us a little bit about your hometown, where you're from.
Yeah, I'm like maybe 30 miles away from where we train. It's called Santa Ana. I was born and raised, lived there 18 years. Spent a good 18 years there, all my childhood. I love it there. I call it home. And then got drafted to Cincinnati, traded to New York, went to Toluca, and now I'm here at LAFC. Happy to be here.
Oh, you had a good journey. Hey, how good is the level at Santa Ana? We hear so many players coming from there, and the competition, players coaching across the board. How would you rate your hometown when it comes to soccer?
No, I think the level is so big. I think there's so many good players there that I don't know why they don't make it. It's very hard to make it in just professional soccer or make it to a big level. And there's so much talent there that still hasn't been found. And it's hard to make it. And I'm trying everything to try and help players from Santa Ana because there's so much talent. But yeah, everybody's good there, and it's a high level for sure. And more people need to make it out of there.
Is that something that LAFC and Major League Soccer and U.S. Soccer have to spend more time looking at to see about towns like Santa Ana where soccer is king and making sure kids don't slip through the cracks?
Yeah, I mean, it's just so hard to see. There's a bunch of kids that just don't get the opportunity. Just maybe they don't have the resources. Sometimes it's expensive to play soccer, and I mean, it's kind of hard to get looked at. But I mean, I was fortunate enough to just get an opportunity, and I think that's why I made it. But there's so many kids that have hidden potential that will probably never see an opportunity, and that's why it's kind of hard for them, especially in a low income city like Santa Ana. A lot of Mexican Americans, a lot of that just don't have the resources to put themselves out there.
Well, we hope that gets better, but I know that you are a ray of light to show the pathway as hard as it's been, but for the young player in that Santa Ana. And we want to keep that present with everyone because it's a big deal and it means a lot here in our local community. Growing up, how much soccer was in your everyday? How did you first get drawn into the sport?
My dad played college soccer, and I think right there, I mean, obviously I picked up a ball and I enjoyed it, and I think I didn't look back. Every time I wanted to pick up a ball and play with my uncles, play with my friends, and I think once you're drawn into that, it's kind of hard to get out, and I kind of just stuck with it my whole life. And now I don't know what my life would be without soccer.
And when did you know you had the talent? When did you know you have something special there?
I don't really think I had talent. I don't think I was always the best player, but yeah, I did work really hard. Um, I had a little bit of talent. You can see a little bit of qualities here and there, but I don't think it was anything special out of the ordinary. But I worked really hard my whole life, and I don't think anything was given to me, and I'm gonna keep on working hard.
You said your dad, where'd your dad go to school to play?
My dad went to Santa Ana College. It's a community college right right where I live, and that's where I grew up. That's where soccer was kind of introduced to me, and I haven't looked back since.
And I'm sure he was very proud of your family that you got to UCLA. I mean, that's a club that you went to university. That is that's where Ryan Hollingshead went. Jordan Harvey's on the staff as well. I know you're there for 1 year, but how do you recall your time as a Bruin? Why was that a program you wanted to be a part of?
I think going to UCLA was a blessing just because I was 40 minutes from home. I can drive back, I can drive forward. It's pretty close. My parents went to every game. I think it was a blessing going there, and I think that's that's really the reason why I wanted to go there. not just because it was close to home, but obviously it's one of the best universities in the United States, and I wanted to have the best opportunity to live out my dream and play professional soccer. And I thought it came a little early, 3 months after UCLA. I thought it was going to take a little bit longer, but the opportunity came and I took it. And obviously I went to the draft and got drafted by Cincinnati.
So you knew, like, after the 1 year, you were hearing things. This guy's special because you undersaw it. You got drafted by Cincinnati. You got drafted by the number 1 pick. So when was that realization go, hey, this is, and the decision that you made with your family? Okay, do I stay, or clearly I'm well regarded here? What helped you make that jump?
I think it was playing the qualifiers with the U.S. I think that was the biggest thing that helped me, playing with that team and just being there, and obviously winning against Mexico in the final to qualify for the U20 World Cup. I think that really kind of impacted me going number 1 and going professional. And obviously I had talks with my parents and my family and my girlfriend, and I said, look, I'm going to the draft just because I want to play professional already. That's been my dream my whole life, and to get the opportunity, I'm not going to turn it down. And obviously school was very important for me, and I'm still continuing my education, but to go pro, it's my dream come true.
Oh, well, Frank, you're very well spoken. Best of luck in the studies, because we know that's difficult to have to balance both of these things. And I want to ask you about your pro career, but you mentioned the U.S. under-20s. What was that like with your family, being in a Mexican-American household, about that decision? And I know it's very personal, and it's a big one for a young player, but what helped you make the decision?
I think, well, having the opportunity, the U.S. gave me the opportunity, and I couldn't turn it down. I think being Mexican, obviously, is hard to go to the U.S. and represent the U.S., but I think when they give you an opportunity, I think you have to take it. I think whatever jersey I put on, I think my parents are going to support it. And I mean, that's a good thing about my parents and my family. It's one thing, obviously they're Mexican and they love Mexico and stuff like that, but I think they love me more than their country. I think I'm their son, and just being part of the family, and I think them supporting me is really the biggest thing for me. I think whatever jersey I put on, they're always going to have my back and always going to support me.
They have to be thrilled that you're back here. I mean, you get to see them. You get to see the family a fair bit now that you're a member of LAFC.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to live at home, spend my days at home, commute, drive 45, 55 minutes depending on traffic. But I mean, I'm going to be home with them, trying to spend as much time with them. And I'm just happy to be home and be with my family and be in a great city like LA and play with a great team.
Well, hope you don't get too much traffic. Hopefully you get that toll road and you shoot it all the way up. Sorry to cut you off, Frank. Your professional career. What are the lessons that you have learned about being a good pro? Because Cincinnati, you had a good run there. The Red Bulls allowed what you did at the New York Red Bulls allowed you to make this big move to Toluca, one of the biggest clubs in Mexico, and now here. It's an amazing run. But what are those things that you have taken about being a player starting very young to become a good professional?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of lessons, I think it's very complicated. I think soccer is a sport that just changes super fast. One day you're in a good area, and then the next day you're off the grid, and I think it's super complicated to say how soccer has changed me. But I mean, the good and the bad has made me the player I am, the person I am, and I think I've learned so many things about being a good pro from so many people. I've played with amazing players and amazing people, and I think getting lessons here and there, I'm always open to learning and adjusting. And I think it's good just to go every day to be the best person you can be and the best player you can be, and just leave it all out there.
What was that transition like from going to MLS, where obviously you were comfortable, to Liga MX in Toluca? What was the things that that you may have hit you the hardest about that transition?
Yeah, I think it was a good transition just to be outside of the United States and living in Mexico. I think it was a new experience for sure. I think the hardest part was adjusting to the altitude in Mexico. Altitude was really hard. I think that really took a long time to adjust to, but yeah, it's a different level. You know, I think it has different I don't know, different ideas about the game, and different coaches for sure, different players, different attitudes. I think there's a lot of differences, but I mean, I think being on two good teams is just amazing. You know, it's amazing to learn and to adjust and to get better. You know, I think being in Toluca and LAFC is just two good teams that just are always going to be competing and being in positions to win trophies. I think that's why I wanted to be at both of those clubs.
I'm sure your family cheers for Toluca when you're playing there. But did your family have a favorite club growing up, a Mexican club?
It was just on and off with America and Chivas, like mom, dad. It's a bunch of people that go for mainly those two teams, but maybe a couple ones. But I think those two teams were the biggest ones we supported.
Well, we'll see. We'll see with LAFC and Club America having a date here in the not too distant future. When did you know that LAFC was interested in you? When were you on the radar about, possibly making a move here?
Yeah, I think maybe like 4 weeks ago, I think was the first time that my agent just told me, hey, look, we're going to try to go to LAFC. And I said, obviously I want to go there. It's a really good team, and obviously I'm going to be close to my family, so I think it's a good way to approach it, and things started to get a little bit serious right when the transfer window, like towards the end, and I said, look, I'm ready to go play, and I'm looking forward for that challenge, and I think I got it done, and I was super happy to be at LA.
Oh, John Thornton, Steve Trundle, what were those conversations like about why they wanted you here? What you can bring to this club?
I think there was not a lot of conversation there, but maybe just after it already happened. But yeah, they said I can bring my grip, my fight, and that's the type of player they need right now to press, to go win some balls, and obviously to play some good soccer. And that was basically it. But there wasn't much conversation after that.
And what was your observation about LAFC, having played against them when you were in MLS, and just seeing this club grow in your hometown? What was that? What were those moments like, seeing a club that before 2018 wasn't even here and now has this history and success?
No, I mean, it's amazing to see they grew so fast. Already winning the MLS Cup. I think you could already tell. I mean, a lot of clubs haven't done it in a while, and for them to win it in 5-6 years, I think you can see how fast the club has grown. But also winning the Community Shield and I think the Open Cup. I mean, they're always competing for a trophy every year, and I mean, you can just see how fast it's grown.
And how you feeling? You're good? You're settling in nice, fitness-wise, ready for a bigger role?
Yes, no, I'm little by little. I'm gonna try to work myself in a little bit more, and I'm just happy to be here, and I'm working really hard to try and be the best I can.
Right on, Frankie. We're thrilled to have you with here. And thanks for sharing your story. And again, best of luck on that commute. And it's awesome to hear that you get to spend that time with your family, because we know how much you can be away from what's important to you here, pursuing a professional career.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to being here.
Frankie Amaya, ladies and gentlemen, joining us here on Black and Gold Insider, where we will have a different guest every week. Make sure you join us again next week here. We're on all those LAFC channels. On behalf of everyone here, I am Max Bretos. We'll see you next time. Let's go Black and Gold.